Unfortunately, many Americans live on the outskirts of hope, some because of their poverty and some because of their color, and all too many because of both. Our task is to help replace their despair with opportunity.
Proposed as a hand-up, not a handout, this legislation sought to bring an end to persistent poverty by investing in social service programs that would allow the poor to develop skills, enabling them to be self-sufficient and hireable.
You worry about what you're gonna, if you have something to eat today or tomorrow, or if you have a roof over your head, or if your kids can make it, or if your kids can go to school or not.
Yeah, me jokingly, I'm a college student, so sometimes I feel more poor than I would like. American poverty isn't as bad as it could be.
Yes, I have. I've been homeless. Definitely, my parents or my mom, she uses welfare and food stamps, Medi-Cal, all the stuff we can get.
No, I don't think so.
Since the start of times in slavery, like that just kind of set the black people as a population back because we've all been so dependent on the majority. So like it's hard for us to get jobs and stuff like that, and like there's racism is still prevalent, so it's like even hard to get hired by people who don't like black people.
I can assume that my grandparents on my father's side weren't very well educated because they were legally barred from an education, which obviously is going to have an impact on your socioeconomic standing.
When you think of Section 8 for the most part, and when you think of like poor people in general, what I personally think about is what I see in like films, TVs, movies, which is people of color, you know, African American people, like young communities in the ghetto that automatically are participating in some sort of like some negative stigma, like oh they're like selling guns or they're like gangbangers or something, which I know like myself firsthand that Section 8 people aren't, you know, those kinds of people.
Like once we actually was able to like get the Section 8 and like move into a house and help them pay for us, that made everything better from moving like of course in a car to like a house. And then like the food stamps definitely helped because we started being able to eat. Medi-Cal helped because I was able to get like my teeth cleaned and go to the doctors, which I'm like always in the doctor, so I think that was very beneficial.
It would definitely just be about getting out into those communities and like reaching out, you know, making programs that help, you know, people, whether they be, you know, financially in poverty or like, you know, like I said, they don't have resources in terms of like education or like, you know, social welfare programs like that.
Back in 1963, 51% of Black Americans lived in poverty, and only about 25% graduated high school. Today, about 27% remain in poverty, and 62% graduate high school. We still haven't won the war on poverty because what about those 27% that need our help? And the 38% that still don't graduate and live day to day consumed by the pain. The war on poverty provided some help. Today, 29 million children receive health care through Medicaid. Food stamps combat malnutrition, while Head Start prepares children for school. Title I supplements students, and the Job Corps helps youth get an education and a job. Our country loves the idea of the American dream, but statistics show that certain Americans have more barriers to reach this dream. African Americans in poverty are much more likely than whites to live in concentrated areas, living together and fighting together, longing for the equality that is often absent and deterring their dreams. The war still happens every day. for the rich have been getting richer while the poor remain impoverished.